Hey, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? That's why I set up the website, colinmullen.com. So hey everybody, this week I'm doing another painting for Christmas, because Christmas is almost here, and just figured it would be a cool thing to do, get these together for my folks for Christmas and all that jazz. Not a lot to say about this one. It links up with the other one. I'm not sure who's getting which, because I can't tell which one's the male and which one's the female. According to the images that I've looked at, they both kind of look like this. I think that this one is the female, but like I'm not 100% on that. So we're just gonna guess, I think. So this week I'm gonna be talking about nudity and art because of the whole stuff that's going on with Twitch and their flip-flop of the nudity decision that they've done. They're not quite sure on whether or not they want to allow nudity or not. They said artistic nudity on Twitch would be fine, which allowed a lot of artists to, actually draw that stuff. And then they had to rein it back because of a lot of false reports, a lot of people who didn't read the ruling and just thought that everything was fair game. And yeah, it was a problem. But I think before we really talk about that issue, I think we really need to realize that this is like not unique. This is not going to be a thing that is solved quickly and easily, and it's going to be a thing that we have to like kind of address as a culture and then really realize, why can't we just do that on Twitch or whatever? Because I've had people go, well, just break the rules, You're all about rule breaking and stuff. And I'm like, dude, what? There's a time and a place for that. I'd like for it to actually achieve something rather than just shoot myself in the foot. I'm not winning some like moral victory by, going against the rules and then getting banned and then not being able to do anything. It's not great. I don't like this situation, but here's where we are, yeah? Because part of this has to do with nudity, but a lot of it has to do with social media and social media's place in our contemporary world. That is to say that social media in general, be it Twitch, be it YouTube, be it whatever, I'm going to use Twitch as the example right now just because that's the, current thing we're talking about. But when Twitch is doing this stuff, you're not paying for much. In fact, when you pay for stuff, you don't have to, you can. There's not the expectation that you will, but that we would like you to from Amazon and from the creators who use it, right? But they are primarily making their money off of the ads that run during streams and the ads that run before streams. And so therefore they need to make sure that the product that they're selling, which is you, is seeing, good content that isn't going to conflict with the content that they're, people are buying. So when people buy advertising space on these websites, they're doing so because they want to get their message of whatever, buy Mountain Dew or whatever it is, out there, but not have it right next to something that's controversial. Obviously, that's why the YouTube adpocalypse happened, because there was controversial stuff right before or after an ad that did not necessarily agree with it, like Coca-Cola being in front of, fascist videos, despite the fact that they've overthrown union organizers in other countries and have shot and killed people in order to do so. They don't want to be perceived as that, so they, would rather you not associate them with that, which is an interesting point in and of itself, but we don't have time for that. So with that relationship understood, that advertisers want to not be placed next to content that's controversial, a lot of these platforms have to very much make sure that they are not allowing controversial content to be added to their website between their ads, because that's really the way it is. It's the content that I'm making is in between ads. It's not that you're trying to watch my content and then you see an ad. No, that's not how the website views it. And that's not how any of these websites, be it Instagram, Reddit, whatever, they're about like, are you going to see like something objectionable beforehand? So the nudity question comes in, and it is that okay? And it appears as a society that we've decided that it's not, despite the fact that art and nudity have had a long history with each other. A lot of people believe that, nudity is a really good way of drawing anatomy. I'm one of those people, because it's really hard to hide issues in your, understanding of anatomy if you're drawing a person without clothes on. Like, you could hide maybe like you don't know how an elbow works or something. I'm going to use elbow as an example here because I'm actually not sure if YouTube will allow me to have this conversation, which is sort of a meta conversation in of itself, yeah? And generally speaking, that these nudes that have been seen throughout history, especially in Western art, are generally seen as an idealized form. And, a lot of people like them because of how timeless they appear, which is a bit ahistorical. And actually, it's really interesting to watch body weight shifts in statues in idealized forms throughout history. Also other aspects, for instance, David has, some portions that are smaller than average and other portions that, I guess are more idealized. And at the time, that was something that was idealized as a whole. And so it's interesting to see as like, what is an attractive or a powerful looking person look like? What does an attractive person look like? In times of starvation, usually the body fat increases on women in art because, it's hard to get food. But when, food is easier to gather, food is a more abundant thing. You usually notice that the body fat on women specifically goes down significantly. Men are usually idealized as having like huge abs and muscles and stuff, but there is a body fat thing as well, which goes along with the same system that there needs to be a certain amount of body fat in order to perform the I hate that I have to talk about in words. And that's really what this is. It's all it really is that we have to like not actually talk about things. Something that really ticks me off about TikTok culture, I'll say, is that we can't just say, someone died. They have to be unalived, as if that's going to be changing anything. We've ruined some parts of our culture just trying to keep up with what these advertisers want from us. I'm getting off track. Regardless, I think getting back to the point, nudes in art are important. They're a good way of studying. They're a good glimpse into the past and the future and the present on idealized shapes. And I think that there is something there to be said. It is useful information. It is helpful, and it can be aesthetically pleasing. I don't see what the huge deal is there, but that's me. And then you look at the people who reacted in opposition to this, and you see people who have this strong moral compass, we'll say, moral feelings towards this issue, and they see people who are, doing art of nudity, whether or not it was sexualized or not, really does not matter to some degree. I've seen some of the art that was reported, and it's literally just to keep people down, to keep people from doing that. And I think that says a lot about the culture. And so when the advertisers go, is this controversial? And the first thing that happens is people get mass reported for actually working within those boundaries. I think Twitch rightfully called the shot and said, oh yeah, this is controversial because people are upset about it. People are misreporting, and it's causing our mod team to have to do a whole bunch of work. It's better for us just to go back to the way things are. However, the things that they still allow are the stuff that is, pretty much what you would expect. Stuff like twerking and pole dancing and stuff, because those are actually challenging things to do. Go try and pole dance if you don't believe me. I have not tried to do that, but I have seen the stuff that is required to pull it off, and it is not easy. It is hard work, and it is a skill set to do well. You can obviously do it stupid, which is how I would do it if I was forced to at gunpoint, but, honestly, at that point, you'd probably just pull the trigger, because I'm not going to be able to do anything for you there. This sounds like I'm justifying what Twitch did, and that's not what I'm trying to achieve here at all. I'm just trying to say that this is almost an expected outcome, and I hate that this is the way it is. And I understand why the things that have happened. And I think that speaks more to a larger cultural thing, that whilst artists are like, hey, nudes are fine, it's just a way of expressing different things. It has a certain timelessness to it. It has a way of showing off physical forms. And hey, yeah, maybe it even might be erotic, But regardless of what its purpose is or why it's there, how much artists love it, it's not the artists that are actually in this discussion. This discussion is not being made with artists on the helm. This is a conversation being held by people who don't do art, who are upset that, oh, hey, I looked at the art tab and it was all these things that I don't like. Where the line between nudity and erotica is for some people is there is no line. They're just the same thing. And so because of that, seems like it's controversial. This sucks. This whole situation sucks, and a whole bunch of people got bopped and banned temporarily for stupid reasons because people were overeager in their I don't know as if they actually believed it or if they were just hating. I don't know. But regardless, this is the world we live in. The question is not whether or not art and nudity are okay. I think if you go to, literally when I was researching this, when you look nudity and art up, it's pretty much every single museum in the world having a section explaining the nudity in their place and trying to get people on the same page as where artists are, where nudity is just another thing to draw. You know, sometimes, I mean, I'm painting a blue jay and no one has an issue with that because there's no extra connotations there. But when it comes to nudity, there is extra connotations and it does tick people off. Am I a person who draws nudes? No, but I don't have a problem with people doing so. So I get why Twitch did what they did. I get why people reported what they did. And I get why artists are mad. I can understand all of these points of views and still have my own. And what I think should happen is, I think that it should be allowed, but I realistically understand that Twitch and other social media platforms are not going to touch this one because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about the artist. It's not about the viewer. It's about the advertiser and how much money they can get. And if it is seen as any bit controversial, it's not acceptable to be on these platforms. Anyway, that's my current understanding and take of the situation. And I need to thank the people on patreon.com that allow me to be monetized regardless of what the advertisers think. And I want to thank you guys a lot, considering everything that I just said and considering that this is probably the only way to walk outside of those lines of what the advertisers care about and what they want. So extra special thank you to my mom and dad. I love you. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Tofoundor. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Skelecorgi. Thank you, Reverend Joe. Thank you, Retrograde. Thank you, Mortis. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Gala. Thank you, Gabriel Bennett. Thank you, Freak Wannabe. Thank you, Egg. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, Cloudburst Sapphire. Thank you, Chiptune Glitch. Thank you, Bunglepaws. Thank you, Bep. Thank you, BD648. Thank you, Amber. And thank you, Ants! Again, with everything that's going on in this specific video, I really appreciate that you guys are here helping me out in whatever aspect you are. And thank you for watching, even if you're not a patron of any level. Thank you guys. Like, it really means a lot. And I think this is the last video for the year, so it's been a great year. Thank you guys for being awesome. I will see you next year. Be good, do good. I'll see you then.